Meet Dave. He's always been different than the other kids. He's tall, taller than the other kids in his class. He's skinny, skinnier than the other kids in his class. He's so tall and skinny that he gets teased a lot. His pants aren't long enough and he's got patches on his knees and his shoes are old. His hair looks funny because of something called a cowlick, one in the front and one in the back. Kids make fun of him in class, and at recess, and in gym, and at lunch, and on the bus. They call him names like Twiggy and Melvin, and Stickman and Freak. Sometimes he feels sad and alone. He feels strange and weird and unusual and different. Do you ever feel different? So he wishes they didn't notice him. He wishes he could blend in. He wishes he was normal. Adults don't seem to like him very much either. He gets in trouble a lot. His teachers tell him to sit still and be quiet and stop goofing around and do what they tell him to do. He tries, but he can't seem to sit still or be quiet or stop goofing around or do what they tell him to do. They call him immature and obnoxious and inappropriate and rebellious and undisciplined. Those are big words, and he doesn't even know what they mean, but he's pretty sure they're not good. He thinks they're bad words and that he's bad too. Sometimes the teachers get so mad that they send him to see the principal. The principal says he's out of control, and he needs to pay attention, and he needs more self-discipline, and he needs to grow up. His parents agree with the teacher and the principal, so they send him to the school counselor. The counselor uses words like oppositional and defiant and deficit and hyperactive and disorder and medication. Those are big words, and he doesn't even know what they mean, but he's pretty sure they're not good. He thinks they're bad words and that he's bad too. Everyone thinks something is wrong with Dave, and sometimes he agrees with them. Do you ever feel like something is wrong with you? He wishes he could be normal and ordinary. He wishes he could fit in. He wishes that he didn't stick out. He wishes he wasn't different. He wishes he was shorter and not so skinny, and quieter and not so hyper. He wishes he could be good like the other kids, and like his parents and teachers want him to be. So he spends his life trying to be normal in junior high, and in high school, and college, and at work. But it didn't work. And then one day, everything changed. He started to see that everything that made him different was good, not bad. He found out it was good to be a freak. He was tall, and that made him good at basketball. The other kids weren't laughing when he got a scholarship to college. They wished they could be tall like him. He was skinny and hyperactive, and couldn't sit still, and that made him good at running. The other kids weren't laughing when he ran his first marathon. They wished they could be skinny and fit and full of energy like him. He talked too much, and that made him a good speaker. The other kids weren't laughing when he started making presentations all over the world. They wished they could be articulate like him. He couldn't do what he was told, and that made him a good entrepreneur. The other kids weren't laughing when he started his own business. They wished they could be courageous like him. He was silly and immature and goofed around a lot, and that made him very funny. The other kids weren't laughing when he did stand-up comedy. Well, they were laughing, but you know what I mean. They wished they could be humorous like him. The other kids, well, they were all grown up now. wish they were different and weird and strange and unusual because that would make them interesting and original and special and distinctive. They wished they were freaks, and so did he. He wanted to help them become freaks like him. For the first time, he was proud that he was different and proud to be a freak. He didn't want to be normal anymore. He wanted to be more weird and more strange and more different and more unusual and to help other people be freaks just like him. Sometimes things turn out better than they start. Sometimes the weirdest kids make the best adults.